Hey guys, in today's episode we're going to talk about what is a writing coach, why do you need one. Whenever I tell somebody, hey, I'm a developmental editor and story coach, I usually get this reaction. They have no idea what I'm talking about, and it's okay. Most people don't know what a writing coach is. Most people don't know what a developmental editor is. So we're going to touch on a little bit about the writing coach. A writing coach, the essence of one, is someone who's going to help you walk through your book. Now, I can't speak for other coaches, and every coach differs widely on what it is that they do, what they help you with, what tools they have available for you, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do as a story coach. So when someone approaches me and they're like, hey, Stephen, I have a story, but I need help with it, and I don't know where to start. So we start off by doing two 1-hour phone calls. The first one is we talk about setting up a writing process. Word goals, we talk about chapter length, we talk about times to plot, times to write, all those different kinds of. Once we've done that, the second time we get together, we're talking about their story. We're diving in, we're brainstorming. I want to hear everything about their story because I need to know how I can help them with their story. That's the first step. The second step is getting them writing something because we need something to work with. We talk about the different ideas and I set an expectation. Usually within the first week of starting, we're talking about the first chapter. So I have them write the first chapter just to get as much out. The word goal is typically between 1,500 and 2,500 words. Now they have a week to get through that. It varies from client to client. So some clients, they want me to walk them through the whole thing, which is what I love to do. Some, they need an hour here or there and they're good. The second thing that I do with the clients is I give them the Getting Your Story Started worksheets. Now, these worksheets are something that I created to help authors get their stories started. Because a lot of times it is very, very intimidating when you sit down and you're like, I have a book idea, but I don't know how to make it from an idea into a book. Very, very common. So I walk them through, here's how you brainstorm. Here's how you outline more effectively. If you hate the word outline, switch it to milestones. I'll talk about that later in a different video, but using milestones, those little waypoints along the way it helps your brain a little bit, especially if you don't like reading like academic style textbooks. Like you'll really enjoy these worksheets. They don't take themselves seriously. One is called the plot donut. I was craving donuts that day. And I had to put a disclaimer in there saying I am not responsible for you binging on donuts after doing this. I'm not going to be liable for that. The next thing is, after they've gone through and worked on some of those worksheets, we review those worksheets. So typically, while they're working on that first chapter, they're also doing those worksheets. And so we review those and the first chapter within that first week. Maybe the first 2 weeks, depending on what their schedule looks like. Next step that we have them do is repeat all of those other steps. Because honestly, repetition is the biggest thing that's going to help them. They need to be in the habit of writing, in the mindset of writing. It's not hocus pocus. Writing is a mindset that you can learn no matter what your age or what your background. You can learn to write and you can learn to tell a story. That's where I come in. I help you tell your story. I help you communicate it in a way that someone else is going to be impacted by it. The biggest thing that I do for my clients is to help them build up their confidence. There's no silver bullet. It takes hard work. Writing is hard. It's hard. And they need to know that they have what it takes to write a story. Everybody does. I needed somebody to tell me that I had what it takes to write a story and to write a good story. And I didn't always have that. So part of what I get to do as a writing coach is I get to give that to authors. I get to help walk them through the process from start to finish of their novel, and I help them make it a reality. But if you think it's going to be easy, you have another thing coming. Writing is hard, which is why it is so important, if you're just starting out, to have someone to walk with you on that. Because you are going to want to quit. I mean, I've wanted to quit. I have quit. I said, forget it. I can't do it. The story's too big. I'm done. I've been there. Now, it may be in the first draft. It may be when you're going through revisions. It may be when you're sending query letters to agents and you're getting rejection after rejection after rejection. Writing's hard. And you need someone there to encourage you. You need someone there to be that number one fan. Now, my wife always gives me a bad time because every time I talk to a client, I get super excited about their book. And like their book is immediately my passion. And I love writing, and I love to help people write. And so, yeah, I'm passionate about it because you need to know someone's in your corner with your book. You need to know that what you're doing is good. You need to know that what you're doing matters. And it matters to me enough to set aside time to help you with your story. That is what a good writing coach does. They come alongside you, pick you up after you've gotten the crap beat out of you by the world and sometimes by the characters in the story. Like you just, like, I can't get past, all these different things. You have somebody who's there to talk to. That's what I do as a writing coach. And I love it. It is a pleasure to be able to come alongside these authors of all different genres and help them write their stories. I have different story coaching packages. And the first one's $50 an hour. So, and that's typically, an hour phone call to just kind of bounce ideas around. And then you're like, cool, thanks. I'll check up with you next month. Sounds good. Next one is more in depth, where I work with you, and that's $100 a month. And that can be split up into 2 payments because I do payment plans. The last one is $150 a month. So not only do you get me walking you through the entire process of your book, but I'm going to help you with SEO, website, how to promote your book, social media, all that kind of stuff. I'm not an expert in any of those things. And I don't want to pretend to be an expert in any of those things. But what I can do is I can share with you my knowledge and experience, pass that on to you, because it is intimidating. You're going along writing your book. So not only are you trying to write your book, you're also now trying to figure out how to build a website, how to do SEO, how to market yourself. Think about that. It's not your book. You're marketing yourself and selling the book. It's hard. Writing is hard, which is why it's so beneficial to have a writing coach, a story coach, someone who's in your corner, who's been through it, who's a little farther down the road than you are, come alongside you and help walk you through it. That's what I do for my clients. And they have been growing leaps and bounds over the course of doing coaching with them. It's been amazing to see the stories, the transformations, the confidence that comes with knowing that, like, you're doing it. I'm not doing it for you. I'm not ghostwriting your book. I'm not co-authoring your book. I'm helping you become a better author. I'm helping you get into the mindset where you really believe that you are an author, because you are. You may not be published yet, but you are an author. That is what a writing coach does. If you want to be an author, really, really, really want to be an author, and these aren't tools, There's no links, no silver bullet for it. This is 100% all you. I can't help you with this. First, you need grit. You need a lot of grit. You need perseverance. You need to take writing by the horns, and you need to persevere. You need to keep going, because as soon as you stop, you've only defeated yourself. Persevere. Keep writing. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. Third, determination. You are going to buckle down and you are going to write. You are going to get that story out. You are going to share it with the world. Or maybe just your friends. Or maybe just your circle. Either way, you have to be determined to do it. Fourth, a willingness to learn. You're a student. All authors should have the mindset of a student, because we read about some crazy stuff, right? I mean, we can all relate with the Google searches that, like, we're pretty sure we're on some sort of registry somewhere, you know, with like Homeland Security or something, because of all the crazy crap that we search for our books. A willingness to learn. If you don't know how to write something, learn. If you want to write science fiction and you've never written a science fiction book in your life, or even had the thought of it before, read science fiction. Learn about science fiction. Learn about the different terms. Learn about the different styles. Learn about the subgenres within it. You need to constantly be learning to grow your craft. You don't have to write what you know. You're not limited to just this, because you know what you learn. So if you're wanting to write different genres, learn them. And then you're going to write what you know. It's that easy. So today, what are you going to do to get started? Are you going to finally sit down and start your story? Are you going to make a goal? Perhaps you need to take some time to figure out whether authoring is for you, whether or not you have the grit to do it. Because writing is hard. But I know you can. I know you can. I believe that you're able to tell a story. You just need to know and come to believe in yourself that you have what it takes to write a story. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you've liked it, please feel free to like, subscribe, hit the little bell down there to get notifications, so that way you know when I'm putting new stuff up. I'm trying to bring you new content at least a couple times a month. I do live streams almost every Friday to answer your guys' questions. I hope that you have a really good day writing your book. Take care.